Good morning, ladies. It's early, but not so early that I can do this. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But I'm here to pray with you, and I'm here to encourage you, and I'm here to challenge you for 2 minutes, and pray with you for about 3 minutes. Sometimes it gets skewed, but pray with me today, and be encouraged that to make prayer a part of your life. I've been thinking about how powerful prayer is. In the sense of a conversation with God, and how one-sided prayer usually gets for many of us. Often we just dump and we unload, and we know how to talk, so we do a lot of it, and we have a lot of problems that we need fixing. But I know my prayer life, it was a young age, but it began to change as I learned to listen for the voice of God. Listening takes many forms, and I'm going to give you a couple ideas on how to listen better. One, I think I've mentioned it before, but I learned how to pray more effectively when I began walking in the morning. That there was something kinesthetic about it that for me allowed me to I don't know, just I process my thoughts physically a little bit. And so it helped me, I think, to engage with God as if I was just going on a walk. And sometimes when I'm sitting still, I can kind of get stuck, I don't know, mentally. And so that was one of the things that helped me. And the second was, well, first that, and then as I was walking, learning to have pauses and begin to listen. And I have always realized, or for years, I have loved walking and praying outside because it just helps change my viewpoint and my vantage point of how great creation is, how small I am in regard to everything else in the world. And the Lord just, I feel like it does recalibrate me in a lot of ways to remember that my problems are not that big. God is much bigger. I think of the verses David speaks about. I lift my eyes to the hills where my help comes from, the maker of heaven and earth. And when I get out and walk and pray, even just in the silence and the stillness, there's just an awareness that floods my soul that God's with me and He's for me and He's bigger and He's moving and doing things that I don't know about. And I've run out of time. So I'm going to pray now, and I'll tell you these other 2 ways that I've learned to do listening prayer in the next videos. So stay tuned. But here it is. Lord, I just bless the women that you have that have found this video. I bless the women who have found this channel. God, whether it's just for one video or for a longer journey with me, Lord, I just pray that they would experience the power and life flow that comes from a lifestyle and a discipline of prayer. Lord, I pray that today would be full of divine appointments, just like this video might have become a divine appointment in their feed or how they searched or stumbled on it. Lord, you are the God of divine appointments. You are moving on levels we've never known, and you are faithful. God, I pray that the women who have felt bound and stuck in prayer would discover a new way to pray. Maybe like me, God, just getting outside, sitting in a sacred place would change everything. Maybe it's moving physically. Maybe it's walking on the treadmill at the gym, but moving in some fashion. Maybe it's going on a bike ride. Maybe it's hiking, God. But Lord, I pray they would begin to find these pockets of beautiful space and time where they connect with you and discover that prayer is so much easier than they ever thought. Lord, that you would fuel them, God, today, that you would be their strength, that you would be their source, that you would be their provision, that you would give them perspective on their situation, God, where it has felt so overwhelming and so difficult and so hard. God, I pray that they would have a new grace and they would see you in that space, just like the perspective changes when we read that incredible, beautiful story of footprints in the sand. I'll link it below. But in that poem, God, it's a radical shift of perspective where we have felt alone and forgotten by you. We discover, God, you've been in that with us, in the hardship, in the middle of it, from the beginning. And so I just bless these women today, God, to experience you and your presence and your faithfulness in a way they've never known. Amen.